Today's movie review is going to be the 2025 film Warefare. Warefare is directed by Ray Mendoza, who happens to be a real-life Navy SEAL. It depicts a firefight between the Navy SEALs and the Taliban in Ramadi, Iraq, back in 2006. It's currently sitting at a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes and has a running time of 1 hour 34 minutes. And let me tell you something, that 1 hour 34 minutes is pretty intense, and it goes by actually pretty fast in the theaters. What sets this movie apart between other war films that I've seen is how intense and accurate warfare is depicted on the screen. There's no soundtrack, there's no narration, it's pretty much raw and in your face. It focuses on a group of Navy SEALs that are held in a compound, and they are doing counterintelligence on the Taliban, and they become ambushed. It's very accurate, and the actors that portrayed these Navy SEALs actually went through a boot camp, and they actually lived on set during the filming to kind of make a real life bonding, and they wanted to just do the whole raw experience themselves and bring the best representation they could to the audience on screen. I believe they delivered on that. It was consulted actually by the real Navy SEALs that were in that battle and that were on set, and the whole storyline is depicted by their memory, which comes up at the beginning of the film. So there's no outside influence in making this movie. The communication language that they use is actually real life military. The whole strategic operations and everything about it is pretty much accurate and to the point. Let me explain something a little further on this. The thing that got me about this movie is the sound. In a lot of war films, they try doing justice to the sound. However, this one tops them all. I believe it should win an Academy Award. As far as the bullet sounds that are ricocheting throughout the house while they're being ambushed, the explosion sounds that each person hears, as far as the muffling, the ringing of the ears, the no sound at all during it, they do a very good representation. I feel the sound mixing should be nominated for an Academy Award. It really goes in depth as to the trauma involved during a battle, during a firefight. There is a lot of blood and gore, but it brings and it shows the camaraderie that this group of SEALs has while they're treating their fellow servicemen and trying to save their life during the heat of this battle. And that's a good majority of what this movie is about. So it is very graphic. However, it's not a Hollywood type graphic. It's more of a realistic type graphic. So it's kind of hard to get through in the movie. So I do recommend, if you are sensitive to that, to proceed with caution. A good thing about seeing a movie, though, like this is that for the layman like me and who's never served, it does give you a tremendous respect, and it just paints a higher, bigger picture of what happened during all these fights. And Ray Mendoza said these fights happened all the time, and they were never covered by any news during the war. So it kind of just puts things into perspective and makes you realize, what these guys went through. And that's kind of the whole film in and of itself. It's just a bloody firefight between the Navy SEALs and the Taliban. And I do recommend you see it at least once, just to give you a better perspective as to what happened or what is going on in and around the world. The thing that hit home in this movie is after the fact, during the credits, they brought in all the real service members that served during that particular fight that was depicted in the movie. And you can see that they, are physically handicapped, and their lives changed after that. And the movie just paints a very good picture about that. So again, today's review is Warefare. I do recommend you go see it. And please follow me, hit the subscribe button for more movie content. Thank you and have a good day.